Hello Swipe, I'm Krish Mittal and hopefully your new iOS intern. And we are going to talk about my take-home project, inventory management. I had to build an app using Swift and you didn't specify whether SwiftUI or UI kit. I picked SwiftUI. I had to basically fetch data from a particular API and upload the data. Basically just get and post request. I had to build two pages, one which would list the product and one which would add the product. I used certain tools to make this possible. First, I used Atlassian's Confluence to write my documentation. Second, I used a tool called Icon Set Creator to create my icons. It's a very helpful tool in which you just have to upload an image and it would give you the entire app icon set that you would require in your app rather than creating every single icon size yourself. Thirdly, I used an app called FrameBuddy for my screenshots. Now, this is only for the documentation purpose, but it gives you really beautiful screenshots. Look over at my GitHub to see them. So, coming to the neat and gritty, I use the MVVM architecture and I use some more folders called utilities and support. So, my utility folders mainly consisted of two other folders, components and extensions, and my support folder was just filled with assets file and the inventory management app file, which would basically launch our app. Okay, so I think I'll launch the app first. I'll launch it using an iOS 15 simulator, which runs iOS 17.4. But I believe my project supports iOS 16.0. If I had more time, I would have supported iOS 15.0. But I think in even in production apps, supporting the current iOS and the previous iOS is fine. Since I think even the iOS 18, I think iPhone 10R will get a support. So yeah, iOS is pretty great in that. So I'll hit Command R and we'll have a splash screen. And this is a product list view. So these are our products which are in the API. So as we can see, some of the products don't have images. So we have a default image and the products which do have images, we have their images being displayed. Even our search is working. If I were to search this product, let's search BMW. By the way, I'm running OBS and iPhone and the simulator on 8 gigabytes, so it's a little bit slow. But nonetheless, we have the product details view. There is a dismiss button. This toggle button is meant to have an availability and inavailability kind of function. It is not working right now. I mean, the UI is, but it doesn't really do anything for now. The vehicles is a category. The BMW M5 CS is a product name. Now this is a rating. Again, this was not in the API. I just think a product really needs a rating. It's really helpful. And we have the total price with the price breakdown, selling price, tax. This was given in the API, selling price and tax, and I calculated the total price using that. And again, we have a description section, not given in the API, but I think it's good to have a description section that could be integrated later on in the API. Now you can either press the cross or just use the default way of dismissing the view. And yeah, that's it for our product listing view. We also have this filter selection. Again, the logic is not working for now. I don't think it was specified in our documentation to have something like this, but I think it's a good feature to have in the near future. And also this share button is also not functioning. I know a lot of things are not functioning, but all the things that were mentioned in the document that I had to do are functioning. These are some things that I would work later on. Okay, so now coming to the add product page, we'll click the add product option and we have our add product page. Again, we could hit the cross to dismiss or just dismiss it using the default SwiftUI way. I can add photos clicking on this add photos button. Yep, I have set the limit to one photo for now, but it would be like 2 minutes to integrate support for more photos. I just thought like we were only doing one photo for this project. If you want to edit this, you have an edit symbol here indicating that you can change this photo. Just simply click on it and select a different photo. This is the product category selection. Now I have hard coded this. I shouldn't, but I needed a way to have user contain their categories. So this is the path that I choose for now. Ideally, it should come from the API. You can select something like clothing, item name. Let's just say test one. I don't know why this simulator keeps replacing my text in Hindi. I really have no clue in that. Okay, I guess that's fine for now. Description again, this won't go into the API, but it's nice to have, and I've just put it here in case we do integrate it later on in the API. We do need a description for a product, man. It doesn't feel right. We'll have a price, and it's 200, and we'll have a tax rate, let's say 10%. So we have a final price of 220. Now we can either save or add another. Add another will continue on this page and will not exit the view. Save would exit the view. Let's try both of them. Add another. I have a product success and I will remain on this page and have the ability to add another. And for the save, let's say 20%. Yeah. So we have a 1200. Let's press save this time. We have a alert, and when I'll press OK this time, it will exit the view. And we have both of our products here. And we can even see the details, and it's all working. I've also integrated dark mode. Let's quickly see that. Again, this all works. Our product details in dark mode. Add product button. We have our add product. And this one.
This worked fine, I think. Yep. I'll just make another product to test it. Yes. Dark mode, I guess. Test out. Again, the simulator is too slow. Our price, let's say 1000. Our tax rate, let's go with 30%. And we hit save. We have added a product successfully.
We have a dark mode product also. Okay, so this was the app. I'll run you through the documentation real quick, and then we'll come over to our actual app. Okay, before going into the documentation, let's look at the architecture first. And for that, I've made a really neat diagram. Let's go with MVVM. Yep. So our app is basically following the MVVM architecture. We have 5 folders: views, view models, models, support, utilities. Our views have 5 files: main view, product listing view, add product view, product details view, node network view. This is excluding the splash view. We also have the splash view, product listing view, add product model, and network manager. Our models, we have 2 models: IAM product and API response data. Support, the management app. We have assets in a support file: app icon, person icon, default product image, accent blue color. Utilities, we have our components: IAM button, IAM option view, IAM product card view, and we have our extensions: color view, double view, number format extension, text field extension. I meant to say color extension and double extension. I'm sorry for that. Let's look at a documentation now real quick. So yes, the project was made for the take-home project assignment. It's built using Swift and SwiftUI. No third-party packages were used. I could have used Armo5 for the networking part and make it a lot simpler. So these were the requirements. This is just lifted straight from the PDF documentation. The architecture, we have gone over the architecture. I'm the only developer. Okay, so these are the file details, what we did in the code. So the IAM product file. Okay, so our IAM product struct basically contains our ID, image, price, product name, product type, tax, what we expect to receive from our API. These are the coding keys. Basically, this will help us in decode the JSON. This matches the name of the name of the details of the APIs. Like product name was not product name, it was in Snake case, it was product underscore name. We have a hard-coded product list file. This was mainly for testing and for previews. That's why I still kept it, because it's still used in previews. This is the product type enum, which is used in selecting the product type when we are uploading a product. This is the JSON key enum. This is basically very helpful when we are dealing with adding a product. I didn't really want to hard code product name when I was uploading the product. I wanted to use JSON keys in case if I had a typo error, I can simply look into here instead of messing around with the view model file, in the large view model file. This is our basic Lorem Ipsum text base for the description. Again, not really needed, but the description is currently not coming from the API. So to display that, I've used a basic lorem ipsum text. Our second model was the response data model, API response data model. This again just helps us in decoding our response and displaying the return message that we get from the API to the user, which we're using in the alerts. As we saw earlier, we had a success alert and we had a message that your product was successfully uploaded. If it was not, we could have received something like error, this contains foul language. By the way, I don't know why test 3 gives foul language. Is that an bug or is that an specific thing that you guys have done for testing? I would really like to know that. Okay, so our inventory management app is just what loads the app. I have used splash screen view. In here, let's look over to the splash screen view. So we are basically seeing here that we are kind of displaying a splash screen for zero point 0.2 seconds and then we are going to the main view. That's it what we're doing here. Okay, looking at the main view now, we are simply saying if we have network, we'll launch our products listing view, otherwise we'll have a no network view. Our no network view will simply just say you need internet connection to run the app. That's it. Yeah, and this would launch us our product listing view file. Before going there, I would like to discuss the utility folders and the components and extensions because that would give us a good picture of product listing view when we go over there. Let's go to our components folder first. Our IM button component is just a basic button which I've used for styling because I used buttons quite frequently in our, I mean, I used them 2 times for now, but I could have used them more times, or if I were to expand on this project, this would be very helpful. This is just styling based, nothing much. I used them in the add product view when we saw the save and add other buttons. Okay, the IM card view. Now this is the card view or the product view that we saw in the product listing view in our product listing view file. When we saw a lot of the products that popped up, this is the file they came from. Again, just some basic styling. We are asynchronous image loading, and we are just using an edge stack for the styling. IM option view, and this is the option selection for the filter that is not currently very functional, but we can. Yeah, so we are using on tab gesture for the animation, and we are using namespace and match geometry for the actual animation that we saw. Coming to our extensions, we have a color extension. Now I like using extension on color because it's fairly simple now. If I wanted to switch colors, like if I wanted to switch a brand blue color, I could just do that here instead of going into the project and switching every time. Same with the logo background color, although it's only used once in a splash screen, so I guess I could have avoided doing that. But since I already did it with brand blue color, I decided to do it here also, in case I needed it anywhere else. And it's still very simple to change it from here. Okay, the number formatter. Now this is a very helpful extension that is helping me in our text fields, in our add product text fields, where we have to format our price and taxes. So this what this does is takes the value entered by the user and converts it into the currency formatter. This is a very helpful function. I just have to write number formatter dot currency format and it would do that. And I've used this even in my double extension for when we are displaying price in a product list view to display our that we were getting double values as a currency. So this kind of solved a lot of the decimal issues that we were having. A really simple code, but effective. Text field extension. Now, to be fair, this is just customization, quite similar to what I did with IM button. But the thing is, in text fields, we were using several different values, like integers and like strings, and I had to kind of work around that, have different initializers. It became very messy. So it made sense when both of them have the same styling but had like different formatters and different values to just have an extension for a style and simply apply that with one line of code rather than making our code messy. At least to me, that makes sense. To have simple readable code. Okay, so let's come to our views file now. Let's go over to our product details view first. So this is the page that we are coming on when we are clicking on a product, when we are clicking on a product card. So again, we are loading the product. This add state in stock is used by the toggle. Our environment presentation mode is used by X mark to dismiss the view. This is our toggle. And again, just some basic styling where we have displayed our product details. We have displayed everything that was in the API and some more things. I don't know if that is right or not, but I just wanted to display a description and ratings. Okay, now let's head on to our product listing view, the view that we get after our splash screen is done and if we have a network. Okay, so we have a lot of things in this view. Firstly, we have a header view. Let's go to that. It's simple. We have a person and your product's title. I guess if I were to implement a user page, kind of an ability to sign out and user details, I would do that here, like an on press. I would use sheets here. When I'll press the person, I'll have that page open. I have done that in my other projects. So, yeah, okay. Search bar. We have a view builder for search bar. Yeah, I like using view builders. It's very easy to arrange things around here. Otherwise, I have to move like 10 pieces of line against one. Okay, so the search bar is simply a text field and an image. I've not used a standard dot searchable. I think that is ugly, to be honest. I like making my own and it's not that difficult. So we have a custom search bar. Next, we have if our view model is loading. So basically, if you're still fetching, we'll show our progress view, the default SWIFTUI one, or else we'll show our product listing view. Before that, I'm sorry, I skipped this. Option selector. Our option selector is what we saw in stock, out of stock, category. We are using namespace. So this has a really nice animation. Again, not really functional for now. Actually, I should show my namespace for a second. I have not given a name to the namespace because we only have one. So I don't really need to give a name to that. But if I were to have multiple, I would have given them a name. Okay, so the product listing view, we are simply loading up our cart products and we are selecting which product we have selected. And once we have that, we are loading our product details view using a sheet. And then lastly, we have our add product button, which simply launches our add product view. Let's head over to our product listing view model first before going over to the add product view. The add product view model, okay, the product listing view model. So we are simply have our URL string of the API. This is our computed property where we are using filtered product, where I have filtered the products for our searching. If it's empty, we will return all products. If it's not, we'll return the products that we have searched for. We have initialized the fetch products. Whenever the view model is called, the fetch models will be called. This is the URL loading, and again, we are just simply decoding it into our IM product. So our code has become really small for fetching a request. That's it for our product list view model. This video is very long, so I'll rush through. The add product view, again, a very simple view. Simple but a nice view. I have a product photo picker where I simply have the max selection to one. Currently, I'm again only have one photo, but it would be fairly easy to have multiple of them. I just have to change this into an array. I have this in the array because of that reason. I have to change the limit here and just certain things. That's why I'm using like for items and items. Basically, things are easy if I want to have more images. Okay, so again, we are using a custom text field style. Very easy to implement the styling now because of our extension. Let's hover it over to our view model. We have a lot of things here. I don't know if I would be able to cover them. This video is already half an hour long. Okay, we have a computed property of final price. We have a clear fields function, which is called when we have add another. We have a upload for upload product functions. We are using a multi-part because we also want to upload images. We are set it on a prompt. We are used our JSON keys now instead of hard coding them. This is the selected photos. If we have selected photos, then only we'll upload. Yeah, then the standard code to decode and upload and getting the message back. These are private functions that are used in uploading, in the multi-form. Yep, so that was the code for now. This is the documentation. I'll show you the screenshots real quick on the GitHub page. Where is my arc? Okay, let's head over to the README. We have a basic README with the objectives, with the API endpoints, documentation, assignment, the MVVM, and a light mode and dark mode. Yep. So that was all with me. I did this in 3 days. I think I started on Thursday evening and it's currently Sunday evening. So hopefully I get a chance of I get an interview at least, and hopefully I'll join you guys in office soon. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.